how to create the multiverse. Stick around. Hello heroes and villains, welcome to Multiverse. A question that often comes back is how do you create the look of the multiverse character? Or what does the multiverse actually looks like? And this is pretty much as close to the unofficial multiverse look as I can think of. And there's the boots. I'll show you maybe another option for the boots. There's the boots that sometimes I kind of hesitate. Right now I'm using the monitor boots. But I am often tempted to use the tall classic boots instead. And for the little robot, some time ago, basically I made an emblem video, and I decided to use a little robot in that video because there is an emblem on it, and somehow I still am using it. So again, this is pretty much as close to an official multiverse look as I can think of in DC Universe Online. If you saw some of the illustration I made of my character, you know that I would probably use a multiverse emblem if there was one. And I might use different gloves and boots and cape, but within the context of DC Universe Online, this is as close to an official multiverse look as I could think of. So let us take a look at each component individually. So the first one is the headpiece, the vesture of proselyte. Often people wonder where the styles come from. Basically there's those little, you can see a bunch of little robots over here. So if we take a look at the map, you can see that these robots are right next to the tech wing in the watchtower. So a lot of people don't seem aware that these little robots exist. So this is where you can get the headpiece. So the name here is the Focus Neophyte's Headguard, and you can get it for 16 source marks. There is a combat rating requirement. I have to admit, it's been a while since I purchased the headpiece. Although there is an alternative, let's go to the House of Legends. In the House of Legends, you can also purchase the style from the evil Harley Quinn as soon as you reach level 30.
I got the goods. Not those goods. You know what I mean.
So you can see here you can get the style for 10 source marks. And the distinction here is that here you only purchase the style, and the other vendor in the little robot I showed you before, you actually purchase a piece of gear. But if you're high level enough, if you don't care about the piece of gear, just come here and purchase the style. And again, you can purchase the style here as soon as you reach level 30. And it is account bound, so you can decide to purchase it with one character and give it to another one of your character if you want to. Next, you have the M slimline chest piece and the 2-color slimline pants. And I guess we should also mention the trim classic gloves and the tall classic boots. Technically, all these come from character creation. But obviously, once you are past character creation, you cannot go back to the character creation process. But you can see there's those little vendors over here at the very bottom of the watchtower. Now let's go to this little one here. So here you can see the hem slimline shirt for $259. That's all you need. You don't need source marks, you don't need anything else, just a bit of cash. And if we go a bit further down, you can see the 2-color slimline pants for $237. So the vendor I first showed you was the one for the chest piece and the pants. There's another vendor over here for the gloves. So you can see here the trim classic gloves for $178. And here you can see the tall classic boots for $188. Although I kind of hesitate, I kind of like to use the tall classic boots. But I kind of like the monitor boots as well. The actual name for the boots is the Aurora Guardian. Although I'm using the enhanced version, but it doesn't really matter. I apply material on top of the boots anyway, so the regular version would do as well. For the monitor boots, you can still buy them from our friend Repunter. Sadly, in order to be able to get the currency to purchase items from Repunter, we need the Save the Universe event, and the Save the Universe event is gone for now. It will come back at some point when we don't really know. So you can see the regular version of the boots for 15 grains of time. And there's also the enhanced version for 20 grains of time. But sadly at this point, you cannot get grains of time in the game. You're gonna have to wait for the Save the Universe event to come back. For the shoulders, I'm using the Spindrift shoulders. As some of you guys may have noticed, I love using those shoulders. It can give us a really nice emblem on the shoulder of our characters. So you can get those shoulders from the equipment supplier Starro right next to the Central City Starro Deluge Zone. This is an actual piece of gear. It does scale to the level of your character from level 10 to level 240. And next we have the Magnetic Paladin Belt. I love this belt because we have a nice Legion of Superhero emblem on it. And you can get it from the Probe Tech Vendobot 2000. There's a Probe Tech in the Watchtower right next to the Time Sphere. But there's also a Probe Tech Vendobot on the 31st Century New Earth. And there's the very same vendor also in the Hall of Doom. So here you can see the belt for 5 solar credits. Someday, many years from now, when we get a new DLC, the solar credits will be replaced by source marks, but right now we still have solar credits. And also it's a piece of gear, so you can see it scales from item level 10 to item level 272. And next we have the emblem. Obviously if I could, I would use the Multiverse emblem that you see on some of my drawings. Sadly it's not an option, but I love the Legion of Superhero emblem, so that's what I'm using. And here I'm using the enhanced version. You can get the emblem as random drops from the Legion bounties, or you can buy it from the broker. Right now it seems to be going for 100,000. It shouldn't be that rare a drop. If you play the bounties for a bit, you should be able to get the emblem. But again, there's always the random number generator. Random is random, so you could play the bounties over and over and still not get the emblem if you're not lucky. So worst comes to worst, you can come to the broker and purchase the emblem. For those who may not know, there's various brokers in the House of Legends. So you can see the room with the target dummies, where you can see Deathstroke fighting Nightwing. There is a broker right here. For the cape, I'm using the Amazonian Conqueror. I thought it was a really nice cape. And it's a cape that comes from the Flashpoint time capsule. So sadly at this point, your best option is to just buy it from the broker. So you can see on the broker, the cape is about a bit less than 8 million. I know it may seem like a lot of money, but the other option would be to purchase some Flashpoint time capsule and hope to get the cape as a random drop. And at this point, you have to purchase a Flashpoint time capsule from the broker anyway. So instead of buying a whole bunch of time capsule and hoping to get lucky and get the cape, just buy the cape. Because also, even if you purchase the Flashpoint time capsule from the broker, you still have to use stabilizers to open those time capsule. So you could end up having to open 10, 20, 50 time capsule, so using 50 stabilizers in order to be able to get the cape. Assuming that you do get the cape. Again, sadly, random is random. You could open a whole bunch of Flashpoint time capsule and somehow still not get the cape. So just bite the bullet, buy the cape from the broker. And sadly, the bad news, I used the Bright Cosmic Chromo material. And sadly at this point, it's very tough to get. So sadly, it hasn't been available on the broker for quite some time. Oh yeah, and also I used the Cosmic Blue Aura while we're here. Right now, the Cosmic Blue Aura is 45 million on the broker. I have to give my usual broker warning. Prices on the broker changes all the time. These are the prices on the broker right now. Tomorrow, next week, next month, and later tonight, the prices could be different. So the only option really you have to be able to get the Bright Cosmic Chroma material would be to try to trade chat. Sadly, on the trade chat, you will have to spend billions to be able to purchase items. I guess not automatically. Some people just use the trade chat to avoid paying the broker fee. But for something like the Bright Cosmic Chroma material, it's been unavailable for quite some time. So if you see it under trade chat, sadly it will be pretty expensive. And that is assuming that you can find it under trade chat. And another warning I should probably get is be very careful when you trade with other players. There's always players who are trying to scam other players. It's sad, but it happens. So be extra careful. When you trade with someone you don't know, be very careful. Personally, I only trade with people that I do know, but you take a chance either way. And I guess we could talk a bit about the Futuristic drone accessory. Basically, when I made my last Emblem video, I tried to use everything I had that could support an Emblem. And turns out that I thought, oh, well, let's use a little robot. And for some reason, I've been using it ever since. Sadly, it's a little robot that we got from a booster bundle way back when. At this point, it's no longer available. Again, same as with the Bright Cosmic material, you will have to look on the trade chat and hope to get lucky and purchase it there. I remember when I got it way back when, I did not think much of it, but then we saw it in Flashpoint. They used it in Flashpoint a couple of times. They've used it more recently. They turned it into a Lex drone in the new Legion of Doom open world map. So people have been asking me about that robot lately, thanks to those little robots being added to the game. Sadly, it's a robot we got way back when, and at this point, sadly, other than the trade chat, you cannot really get those little robots anymore. I toyed with a few other looks from time to time. Like right now, this is pretty much the DPS look that I'm experimenting with. Basically, I'm trying to find a nice look for the shaded comic material. And also, I wanted to use the Superman emblem for some reason, so this is what I'm using right now, but that will probably change. This is my weapon mastery look. The main difference is that I'm using some metallic chroma materials. Those metallic chroma materials again are very difficult to get at this point. I'm using the blue metallic chroma 2 for the chest piece and the pants, the red metallic chroma 1 for the headpiece, and the red metallic material for everything else. Sadly, those metallic materials have been unavailable on the broker for some time. So once more, the only real hope you have to be able to get those materials is to take a look in the trade chat, but again, it will be expensive. And the same for the blue plasmic aura that I'm using, sadly. Again, it's an aura we got from a previous booster bundle way back when. Although there is the dark blue plasmic aura, you can still get the dark blue plasmic aura for about 25 million on the broker. And I guess there's what used to be like my sort of a future Kid Flash look that I've been using for some time. I was looking for an excuse to use the Kid Flash headpiece and the Superboy jacket, and mushing the two together, I ended up making a sort of future Kid Flash. But then more recently, I turned it into a sort of Superboy Kid Flash hybrid. The Superboy jacket was pretty expensive to get from the broker. I had to purchase like only the last collection for 900 million, not counting all the other collections I had to get. So seeing how I had to spend a lot of money in this jacket, I had to use it on at least one armory, and here it is. But at the end of the day, in DC Universe Online, this is pretty much my official multiverse look. I might tweak it as time goes by, as we get more and more styles added to DC Universe Online. Yeah, I'm sure that at some point I might get a few new pieces of gear and end up tweaking the look. But at this point in time, this is pretty much the look of my multiverse character. So if you have been wondering how to recreate the multiverse in DC Universe Online, now you know.